the longest one of the season. And the pitch is swung on and blasted to deep left field. Back it goes, and welcome to Baltimore, Keon Broxton. A 2-run home run for Keon.
I could do that. I mean, really, how hard can it be?
And the Orioles take a 2-1 lead here in the second. How about that?
Right?
But the Mets, baby, love the Mets. All right, baby, let's go. Get a home run, baby, love the Mets.
Now, obviously these athletes accomplish these goals through sheer determination, hard work, and rigorous training, for which I'm capable of none of the above. No, I won't be taking the high road. I'm going to cheat. Now, you might call this video inspired. You might even call it blatant plagiarism, and you would be right. However, I think it's important to note that the last two projects that tackled this subject were powerful, functional. However, ultimately they were practically unusable. Let me explain. Now, on one end you have Smarter Everyday's home run delivery system, which is so disconnected from the act of swinging a baseball bat that it practically looks like a prop from the upcoming Saw film. And on the other end you have Stuff Made His bat, which is functionally a gun at the end of a bat. It's a gun at the end of a bat.
Whoa, dude. That's pretty cool.
My goal is to create something that still offers me an advantage but doesn't put me in gross bodily harm.
I mean, seriously, what do I have to be scared of? Look, I'm not scared. Why would I be scared?
Sounds like a fairly low bar to set, and I think I'll find it at the middle point between these two projects. Now, you may be asking yourself what on earth could possibly be in the middle ground between an Indiana Jones death trap and a legendary Fallout weapon. Well, that's complicated. Well, it's not complicated, it's just difficult to explain. Not that I won't explain it, but that's besides the point. First, I have to prepare my vessel. Now, engineering is about precision, measuring twice and cutting once, and using the right tools for the job. This shows respect to the craft and everyone who practices it, and I missed. How did that even... You know what? Now that I think about it, engineering is actually more of an art than a science, so it doesn't even really matter. So, how am I going to turn a bat in two halves into something that can actually hit a ball again? Well, I'm going to reconnect them. Now, what was the actual point of cutting a bat into two halves if I'm just going to put it back together again? Because I'm going to replace what was initially a perfect join with a hinge. Why a hinge, you may ask? Well, because moving the point of leverage of the bat from my wrists to just above my hand should hopefully give me an advantage that should increase the speed at which the end of the bat hits the ball. Hopefully. A hinge of this odd shape and size is not something you can just buy off the shelf. And if I had a fancy and expensive 3D printer, I could just manufacture the perfect design. But because I don't, I have to take a more roundabout method. Step 1 of my design is to attach 2 gate hinges by the mounting hardware with zip ties. Great. Now that I have the hinge, we can move on. Because the hinge is a touch flimsy, I need a way for the bat to stay closed when I want it to. So I decided to attach a metal cap to one end and a big electromagnet at the other. All I need to do now is mount them. Now, because of the sheer size of the magnet, my hinge no longer fits, which is in no way a flaw in its design as it was perfectly and meticulously engineered. It just means I have to perform a routine and standard mechanical process where I delicately bend the metal with my bare hands until it fits in place. Absolutely perfect. In order for the electromagnet to work, it needs a supply of power, which I can provide with a simple soldered power circuit with a power plug and a switch. Now I just need some finishing touches. A cushioner for grip comfort, and a perfectly safe and effective battery mount. And it's done. I dub thee the crack bat. Get it? Because it cracks in half? Whatever. It doesn't matter. Now all that's left to do is test it. Control time. Test time. Now, I'll be the first to admit that due to some design oversights and the weird weighting of the bat, it is difficult to use properly. But once I got the hang of it, now, it may work. However, I do think I can do better with this design, mainly with improvements to grip comfort, battery mount, the general physics of the hinge, the overall aesthetic, and just the general functionality and usability, but that will all have to wait for version 2. Well, I guess that settles it then. Mission accomplished. And you know what? 16 meters per second doesn't actually sound that bad. Sounds pretty quick to me. I should probably check though. See how I stack up. "89 miles per hour." Whatever that means. I'm sure it's got to be close though. "89 miles per hour is 40? What? How? You may be looking at this as a complete and objective failure. Do you want to know what I see? I see a 60% increase in ball hitting proficiency over using a normal bat. And that's what we in the industry call a W. And we take those. Yes, sir. Yes, we do. Roll credits.